my name is Lucia Roldan. I've been the Impact Initiatives Director of Development and this spectacular program for the last 4 years, and I am pretty proud of being here today with you. As many of you know, the ArtTable National Fellowship Program was born in the 2000, and it's an impactful program supporting emerging professionals, women identifying and non-binary emerging professionals from backgrounds usually underrepresented in our arts field. So we are supporting more than 147 fellows from the beginning of this program, seeking careers in arts organizations. So I am pretty happy to share that this year we were able to increase the number of fellows supported up to 20 for the first time in the history of this program. And we have been increasing the diversity, the geographic diversity, and now we have an incredible roster of host organizations across the country, and I'm going to introduce also them. So this year we are very honored to work with Air Gallery, Brooklyn, New York, Amand from Brooklyn, New York also, Arts Papers from Atlanta, Balboa Arts Conservation Center, San Diego, Black Cube from Colorado, Capital One Art Program, Tysons, Virginia, Carolee Sinan Foundations from New York, upstate New York, the Chrysler Museum of Contemporary, Chrysler Museum of Art, Norfolk, Virginia, Eve Arts Institute from Virginia, Kemper Museum of Contemporary Art, Kansas City, Lorimer Sculpture Park, Leslie Lohman Museum of Art, New York, Los Angeles Contemporary Exhibitions, Museum of the City of New York, Project for Empty Space, Newark, New Jersey, and also New York, Project X, Foundation for Art and Criticism, Los Angeles, Tefra Institute of Contemporary Art, Reston, Virginia, the Clemente Soro Bellet Cultural and Educational Center, New York, and the Morgan Library Museum, New York, and Voices in Contemporary Art. So thank you to all of our incredible host organizations for submitting spectacular projects our fellows are now enjoying, and you will see. So I would love also to say a huge thank you to all our supporters, because this program is not possible without you. In 2022, ArtTable established the Impact Initiatives Fund in honor of Meg Perman. I know Dag was trying to be here today, and I would like to say a special thank you to all the family. This fund directly impacts our fellowship initiatives. And also we have a specific program, a specific funding from Julie Armstead, Capital One Art Program, Elaine Goldman, thank you so much. Our founder, Lila Harnett, Helen Frankenthaler Foundation, Herschel Supply, Lenore.
We found evidence of this monumental synagogue, and she's standing on one of the side wall blocks, and she took a photo of herself standing on the same block every season, and it was really cool to see the site, like all the dirt disappear and see this huge building start to emerge, and she's always in the same spot. So it's been a really interesting.
Lucia, you're muted.
Ooh, thank you so much. So I wanted to also thank you, the Lenore Tawney Foundation, Leon Polk Smith Foundation, Elizabeth Sackler Museum Educational Trust, SRI Fine Arts Services, the Pierre and Tana Matisse Foundation, and all of you for being here, the mentors, and also the Impact Initiatives Committee members, and all my staff. here. So I want to say a huge thank you to Penelope Thomas, thank you to Audra Lambert, thank you to Taylor Ray, and also to our new person leading this amazing program, Susan Mangaluz. So Susan, would you like to say hi?
Absolutely. Thank you for the introduction, Lucia. Good morning, everyone, or good afternoon, based on your time zone. I'm Susan, she, her, hers, and I am very excited to be coming on board and being your primary contact come fall.
Wonderful. So exciting. So, well, now I would like to directly say hi to our fellows here. We have 18 fellows. Looking forward to speaking with you and responding to all your questions. So I would like to start in alpha order, like saying hi to our first fellow. I requested the fellows, just so you know, to speak during 2 minutes. Like, I know it's super complicated, it's a challenge. So they are going to talk about their background, how is the project they are working on in the host organization, and also why they think this program is important to them. So Inés Arango, would you like to start? The Clemente Soto Vélez Cultural and Educational Center in New York.
Hello, everybody. Thank you for being here. My name is Inés Arango, and I am originally from Colombia. I'm a curator, arts administrator, and arts writer, and I'm excited to be working at the Clemente. I am supporting them with content surrounding their programs and also helping them implement the Bloomberg Connect app, which is an application that helps connect audiences to programs in art. And this is also in part of working towards a citywide festival that the Clemente will be hosting in 2025. So I'm working also in the first phases, research phases of the festival. And I am really happy to be working here. It's been amazing to see the work that the Clemente does. It's great because it's a Latin-focused organization, and they are so good at fostering their communities, are keeping the communities of the Lower East Side in New York alive. So just being able to be here is an absolute dream. Everybody here is great, and so it feels really good and important for my career to see that my work is being appreciated and seen in such an important space for the city of New York. Thank you.
Wow, you did it very well. Thank you so much, Inés. So we have now Sophie B from Capital One Art Program, Tysons, Virginia. Hi, Sophie.
Hi, everyone. My name is Sophie Day, and I'm truly excited to be sharing my journey and experience with you all. I have a diverse background in photography, videography, graphic design, digital asset management, and art management. And it all started with my passion for photography during my bachelor's, which eventually led me to explore the fascinating world of art and museum study during my master's. I was selected to participate in Capital One Art Program, and I'm excited to tell you about my project. As part of this program, my task involved organizing and researching the Capital One Center's permanent art collections. The outcomes of this will be a printed catalog showcasing approximately 150 carefully curated pieces. And my primary focus revolved around organizing and tracking all the necessary images for the catalog and detailed information about each artwork through the Capital One Art database program. Moreover, I'm conducting research on the artists featured in the collections, which has been an enlightening experience that honed my creation skills. And through this project, I'm gaining invaluable hands-on experience in collection management and enhancing my research skills, which lays a solid foundation for my future career as a collection manager or registrar. However, beyond my personal goals, my goal is to contribute the arrangement and establishment of the Capital One permanent art collections as a valuable resource. And I'm grateful for the opportunity to be a part of this program. And I'm committed to ensuring the catalog reflects the company spirit, which embodies innovations and creativity. With over 800,000 pieces, the Capital One art collection has assembled an impressive collection showcasing both local and world-renowned artists. So the most exciting part for me is that I can work on site at headquarters, where each floor and entire building is surrounded by curated artwork and rotating exhibitions. Thank you all for being a part of this journey with me today. I'm deeply grateful for the opportunity to participate in this program. Thank you.
Wow, what an impressive presentation. Thank you so much, Sophie. So we would love to hear from Tillis Bowen from Boca, but I am afraid is not available to join today. So let's continue with Sandy Chen from Tefra Institute of Contemporary Art.
Hi, everyone. I'm Sandy. I am originally from Taiwan, and I'm a fellow here at Tefra Institute of Contemporary Art in Reston, Virginia. I come from a curation background, and here at Tefra, I am primarily working with the 2023 to 24 fellows from the Virginia Museum of Fine Art. The cohort are including undergraduate, graduate, and professional fellows. So I have been doing studio visits with them, and I will select one or more of them to curate an exhibition coming up in the late October, which will be in the Tefra's signature gallery. It's a residency building. My experience as a fellow here has been great. The associate curator, Tana, who is my supervisor, she really gave me a lot of space to develop my own ideas and answer a lot of my questions about this industry. And I'm also helping with an upcoming show in the early September called Choosing to Portage. It's a show about the material making process from an artist. And so I've been working on the exhibition checklists, labels, and also writing a curatorial reflection to be included in the catalog, which is so exciting. This fellowship is really important to me because I think as a curator, one of my fears is to working with artists coming from different backgrounds or that I'm not represented or part of, because I think it's really important to carrying that care into the conversation and relationship with the artist. And so I think the way to figure it out is to continue to practice more. And this fellowship has been giving me the opportunity to explore. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Sandy. Now I know Angela Davignon would have loved to be here. They are working now at Black Cube in Colorado, and this week is very busy for them. And they have connectivity issues. They told us they are in the middle of the country, so we are sending a huge thank you for being there. And yeah, let's continue with Janie Darden James, our fellow at eBay Arts Institute, Hopewell, Virginia.
Hello, everyone. I'm very excited to be included as one of ArtTable's summer fellows. I'm very, very grateful to be a part of this incredible cohort and hear what everybody's working on. My name is Yanni Durden James. I'm an artist, a designer, and a writer. My background involves more hands-on experience versus institutional schooling, as I'm a daughter of generations of creative individuals, and this curiosity has led me here. I'm very proud to be compiling resources and designing a catalog for eBay Crowley. eBay Crowley is a Richmond, Virginia-based artist whose work surrounds untold stories of Black women through art and through storytelling. And by merging the two, art and storytelling, her work makes these untold stories a lot more accessible. And particularly as a person of color, I'm very, very grateful for this pairing. I've learned so much already. So the catalog will be presented along with a commissioned piece of eBay Crowley's at the National Museum of Women in the Arts. And it will also hopefully be stored alongside her other works as a reference piece. I'm very excited about that. And this fellowship is important to me because, like Beyonce, I have twins. And actually, I have 4 children. So with ArtTable's mission to advance the careers of women in the arts, we'd be remiss to not mention mothers. And I'm a mother who is duly devoted to my family and to the success of my creative endeavors. So this fellowship has allowed me to be present for my children, but also cultivate the necessary skills for my larger career aspirations in art and design. So.
Jani, thank you. Has been very, very moving. Thank you so much. Greta Goldbart is working at the Leslie Loman Museum of Art in New York. Thank you, Greta.
Hi there, I'm Greta Goldbart. I am here at the Leslie Loman Museum of Art. I'm lucky to be in it right now. I am also a grad student at Parsons School of Design for curatorial studies. So this museum is in the Lower East Side of New York, which is a very storied location for particularly queer, gay, lesbian art. And it is the only museum of queer art in the world, which is like shocked me. But anyway, I was an undergrad in creative writing and English with a focus in poetry. So I wasn't entirely sure how I would express that from the point of my graduation for undergrad with my love and respect for art. Thankfully, those two fields actually have a lot in common. So for my fellowship, I've been writing contextual art historical information for artworks in the collections, which is about 25,000 strong. Obviously, I'm not tackling 25,000, but it's been really amazing to work really closely with these works of art, a lot of which was collected during the height of the AIDS crisis. So there's a lot of artwork, and some of it, is harder to find information about. So I've been doing a lot of really interesting research. So the contextual information is for an upcoming show and also for a digital collections website. It's been really amazing getting to know the team, and also it's wonderful to build a portfolio, but gaining hands-on experience in a museum is, like nothing else, especially in collections. You really get to see, handle, and just write about these really amazing pieces of work. And something that I've really cherished about this experience is getting to explore creatively. A lot of these works of art that I'm writing about, I got to choose myself. So that was really pretty amazing. And I really also appreciate the emphasis on accessibility and wanting to make these collections searchable and more accessible to a greater public. So yeah, it's been really fantastic.
Thank you so much, Greta. I would like to continue with Philana Lee, working at the Kemper Museum of Contemporary Art in Kansas City.
Hi, my name is Philana Lee. I'm a curator and a second-year PhD student in art history at the University of Kansas. I am working with the Director of Curatorial Affairs at the Kemper Museum of Contemporary Art and on a catalog for an artist called Denzel Forrester. And essentially I'm helping them support creating a catalog with the ICA Miami. And it's to really support this artist called Denzel Forrester, and it's his first major art exhibition and publication in the US. So it's really exciting to kind of get to know an artist, and I'll be able to kind of help support that. And the book is coming out soon, so it's very exciting to see a catalog just up and going and hopefully see it published while I'm around. And this fellowship is really important to me because I've always had an experience working in museums, but I also understand it's so important to really expand your network and just get to know more people. And that's something I feel like ArtTable has really presented for me, because I love getting to know more people, and just being supported in that way makes me feel very happy.
Thank you. Continue now with Carla Mendez, working at Project X Foundation for Art and Criticism in New York.
Yeah, so I'm Carla Mendez. I am an arts and culture writer, recent graduate from Brown University, where I participated, or my program was American Studies, so it was very history based, specifically around Black feminist and Latin American female histories and representations within visual arts. So getting to work with Project X has kind of allowed me to, in a way, explore more of that history, but more like kind of in Los Angeles art history. And so some of the projects that I'm working on and assisting with Project X is they are participating in the Los Angeles Art Book Fair coming up in August. And so they are organizing an exhibition with Active Cultures, which is another nonprofit organization here in LA. And they've created this exhibition entitled Total Landscaping that seeks to be a gathering space and investigation of the spatial and geographical politics of LA. And so I'm working alongside, collaboratively alongside the Getty Fellow for Active Cultures and the Development and Research Associate of Extra. And we're putting together a collective library in which we're going to have texts available from the fellow exhibitors and other scholars and creatives that visitors can come in and read and engage with. That allows them to think about the mission of Total Landscaping and the programming of the exhibition. I'm also assisting with the Development and Research Associate on events that seek to work with arts nonprofits in LA to bring them into the offices to engage with the archives and present their works and ideas. And then more of an independent project that I'm working on with the executive director is a deep dive into the archives that date back to 1997 and working to develop methods in which the artists and writers within LA kind of through like an open call can come in and access and engage the archive, and also organizing pop-ups that will take place during the summer in which they can come in and kind of present those any kind of work that they've created through their like interpretations and interactions with the archives. So yeah, a lot of really exciting projects, and I'm really thankful for ArtTable and for Project X for extending this opportunity. It's been a lot of exciting work to get to be a part of, and getting to have that opportunity into me, just not only because of the work that I had done prior to starting, but also validates the importance of it. And it also has allowed me to see firsthand how an arts foundation and the magazine publication works, and all of the kind of like just incredibly hard work that goes into organizing their exhibition and getting to watch them work out how their magazines are planned, their issues are planned, and just how far ahead they plan the magazines for publication. It's really been just inspiring to see all the passion that every person on the team has for the work that they do.
Thank you so much, Carla. So now I would like to say welcome to Darla Migan, working at the Morgan Library and Museum in New York.
Thank you, Lucia. It's great to be here. I've done a few of these, but it's so nerve-wracking still. So I'm just so excited to be part of the conversation and be hearing about everyone else's work. So I am a philosopher and an art critic. It's an odd combination. I didn't have a background in art history, but studied philosophy at SUNY Stony Brook the first time for the MA program in philosophy and art. And that really sparked my enthusiasm for combining my interests in philosophy and art. So I focused on philosophical aesthetics, which basically means a lot of different things in a lot of different places. But my interest is really in thinking about the way that ethics and aesthetics meet. So working in the context of philosophy, I like to stand in community with others around objects, around artworks, to do the thinking that we need to do to reach the kind of culture that we want to see in the world, right? Okay, so I completed the dissertation in 2021 at Vanderbilt University, and I wrote my dissertation on the artist and philosopher Adrian Piper, really important to me, and then published my first art review on Faith Ringgold in Berlin. So I've been working on a freelance basis as an art critic while I adjunct at Parsons in the BFA photography program and fine arts program. So one of the reasons I wanted to do the ArtTable Fellowship at the Morgan Library was because it was in the Department of Photography. So without a deep dive background in the photographic arts, I thought it would be a good opportunity to start to learn a bit more about the history of lens-based practices, so I can be a bit more informed with my students. So I lead a course primarily on writing. So I work and do crits with my students at Parsons, and then I now have a little bit more language in terms of the technical aspects of what they do. So I'm really excited to combine the information I've learned about artists such as Carl van Vechten, complicated, definitely in need of interrogation, but I'm working on new acquisitions that have arrived to the Morgan that will be in an exhibition that opens in January 2024. So I'm doing some deep dive on Carl van Vechten, artists that are more contemporary, such as Paul Sapuya and Martine Sims, who I've also written about in the past. So really excited to be there and to be diving into their reference. And their reference library is searchable by the public, which I think I have to say, like, they really want people to know that you can search the collection of the Morgan Library and Museum on Coursera. So if, most people feel kind of a little intimidated by the Morgan, but we are working really hard, and I see the staff and the curators, especially I have to mention Joel Smith, the director of the photography department, working really hard to bring new audiences to the Morgan, and I am really excited to be part of that. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Carla. Thank you. So let's continue now with Rebecca Vinagrio, working at the Museum of the City of New York.
Hi, everyone. My name is Rebecca. I'm a graduate student at Hunter College. I'm pursuing an MA there in art history. Sorry about that. I don't know why that happened. Yeah, I'm pursuing a master's in art history, focusing on modern and contemporary art. Right now I'm interning at the Museum of the City of New York. I'm on site today. And during my internship, I've been providing a lot of administrative support for upcoming exhibitions and also for the current exhibitions that are on view. I also have an audience research project that I'm working on. And yeah, I'm just learning a lot about cross-departmental collaboration, which is really great here, I think. I've had internships elsewhere where I haven't really gotten to see much of that. But yeah, happy to be here.
Happy to have you, Rebecca. So we are thrilled to have also here Jabrea Patterson West, working at Project for Empty Space, Newark and New York.
Hi, everyone. It's great to be here and to see so many familiar faces also. So my name is Jabrea Patterson West, but those of you who are familiar with me will know that I typically go by Bria. And just a little bit about my background. I am soon to be a PhD candidate at the Institute of Fine Arts in New York, where I am studying art history. And I am also an alumni of the University of Southern California class of 2020. And this summer, I am doing my ArtTable Fellowship at a really amazing feminist arts nonprofit called Project for Empty Space that is currently based in downtown Newark, which is also my hometown. So it's so great to be associated with an organization that is doing work in my community and is something that I've always wanted to see happening there. And so just for a little bit of context, Project for Empty Space is an organization that focuses its programs around public art and interventions in public space through art and activations. And so some of the programs that they have are the Artist in Residency program, subsidized studio program for local artists, as well as a feminist incubator, which is sort of a critical opportunity for feminist identified artists to collaborate and think through some of the issues that women and queer artists face. And so my project this summer is to research an expansion of public programming for the new gallery space that'll be opening in the fall of this year, which will significantly expand both studio and gallery space for the artists in residence in the local community. And this gallery space is sited at a public park. And so what we're trying to do is engage the community further than we were previously able through other kinds of public art projects by centering a lot of our activations of public space within this park. And so with that, I've been doing a lot of research into the previous programs, as well as conceptualizing ideas for potential new programs that centered the community while also expanding on the organization's mission. And so the biggest aspect of my research so far has been looking into the current public programming of organizations that I really admire throughout the country to see how they manage their programs and see how that can inspire the programs that we're doing at Project for Empty Space. Thank you.
Thank you, Bria. And now let's go with Libby Ponce, working at the Chrysler Museum of Art, Norfolk, Virginia.
Hello, hi, it's very nice to meet everybody. I'm very excited and honored to be awarded the fellowship and be able to meet everybody. Everyone is so impressive. Yeah, so my name is Libby Ponce. I am an artist. I am also primarily an artist. I am also a researcher, curator, and educator. I was born and raised in Tampa, Florida. I have a BFA in studio art and a BA in philosophy. And the past 2 years, I was living in Guayaquil, Ecuador, carrying out a Fulbright Creative Research Fellowship, where I was 3D scanning artifacts at the Museo de Antropología y Arte Contemporáneo. Let's see, at the Chrysler, I am conducting research to support the museum's reinstallation of a series of galleries that occupy a substantial section of the museum's first floor. The installations are really popular with general visitors, and they're heavily used by the public engagement and learning department for tours that provide like around 9,200 school-aged children in the Hampton Roads region with the first kind of museum experience. So, you know, your first time going into museum. One of the things that I've really enjoyed about the Chrysler is how welcoming they are. I've just been really blown away by that. I'm like, wow, I had no idea that a museum could be so warm and welcoming. So it's really great to be able to have a sort of insight into that. But back to the galleries, they were first installed, or not first installed, but the current layout was from 2014, and it has presents collections from Mesoamerica, Asian art, Greek, Roman, Egyptian, and historic African art as well. I, along with the curatorial team, are reorganizing the galleries, and so we're going to change how the museum presents the world cultures to place a greater emphasis on themes such as afterlife, sports, hygiene, trade, life of women, color, maybe materials, textiles, migration, and other characteristics of the human condition. This endeavor aligns with one of the Chrysler Museum's strategic priorities of expanding its impact as a cultural hub by placing renewed attention on the care, interpretation, and display of its collections. But yeah, so I'm really honored to have a part in reshaping how we learn about world cultures through art, especially for such a highly visited museum. It's recognized locally and nationally. And I've learned a lot through the departmental presentations that they have, alongside kind of like being another feature within the, alongside the internships. It's really complemented it. I've been able to work with some other, some students who are currently in undergrad conducting internships there. So it's good to see their research and what they're doing, and being able to share like different avenues, right? Especially with a Fulbright, and provide any feedback with that. I really like how the roles within the museum are very interconnected, and everyone is supporting each other to create such a warm museum. Yeah, it's just it's a great. I just have raving reviews about the museum. So, and it's an amazing environment, not just for the visitors, but also for the workers. I find that everybody there is very happy. And I'm grateful for my supervisors, Lloyd DeWitt and Mark Castro. They provide excellent feedback and guidance as mentors. And one of the main reasons for why the ArtTable Fellowship is important to me is that when I was doing research on the fellowship, I think I was seeing different names of people who've done this fellowship in the past, maybe 20 years ago or so. And, now they're the alumni of this fellowship. They've received like high accolades and recognitions. And so I really feel like it's carving out a place for myself and the other fellows in this cohort within that legacy. You know what I mean? Like, in 5, 10, 15, 20 years from now, we will also be doing those I'm very excited about that. So yes, I am very grateful to have the opportunity to work with everyone. Very excited. Yeah, thank you again.
Thank you, Livy. And you are right. We have an incredible group of alumni right this year in the Gala of ArtTable in New York. We had the opportunity to hear directly from Marcela Guerrero, one of our former fellows. And right now she's working at the Whitney Museum as a curator. So yeah, thanks. And now I would like to hear from Nadia Ramirez Estrada, working at Los Angeles Contemporary Exhibitions.
Good morning, everyone. Hi, my name is Nadia Estrada, and I am the 2023 Art Fellow at Los Angeles Contemporary Exhibitions, aka LACE. And I recently I completed my master's program in curatorial practices at USC's Roski School of Art and Design. But before that, I was working in advertising production for about 10 years. And now I'm working as an exhibition production manager, researcher, and writer. So I'm very excited to be here with you. And at LACE, I'm working on the Getty Initiative's Pacific Standard Time. This year, it's Art and Science Collide. And I am a research assistant for the publication and working alongside director Sarah Russin and the curatorial team of Daniela Lieja Quintanar and Anna Brice for the fall 2024 exhibition. And it's titled Undisciplinary Tactics, Beatrice da Costa, and it examines the techno-scientific experimentation and activism of the late German artist Beatrice da Costa, who sadly passed away in 2012 after a long battle with breast cancer. And this exhibit acts as kind of a retrospective of her life and practice, which she was really invested in exploring that relationship between science and art, technology and everyday life. And she really wanted to work towards a collective production and distribution of knowledge. And really, we see her practice as functioning as a space of learning, exchanging ideas, and generating collective thinking. And during this fellowship, I've been focused on archival research for the publication to compile a personal and historical chronology of her life and work. And it spans over 5 decades, so there's a lot to go through. But so far, I've interviewed transcripts with her past collaborators and have gotten to dive into her personal archives, which has been very rewarding and special. And so I feel really honored to be, taking care of these really important details of her life. And working with the curatorial team at LACE has just been very wonderful, and I feel so welcome and supported. So thank you. I'm excited to see it all the way through. So thanks again for having me.
We are excited too. Thank you so, so much. So now let's continue with Juniao Key from Loyalmere Sculpture Park. Hello.
Hi, everyone. My name is Yun Yao, and so for my background, I just graduated from the School of Art Institute of Chicago with a dual master's degree in art administration and art history. So I'm originally from Shanghai and have stayed in Chicago for 2 years and have an interest in curation, writing, and also I'm very interested in the interaction between the artwork and public. So yeah, I'm very excited to have the opportunity to work with Loyalmere Sculpture Park. It is a sculpture park in St. Louis, about over 100-acre, and it has 70 works outside. So Loyalmere is preparing for its 50 years anniversary in 2026, and we're going to have a publication introducing the development of the organization, and also thinking of recommissioning the work from artists to do more public sculptures. So I work with the team, with Tana, the curator, and Karen, the curator of education. And what I'm doing is I dive into the archive of the organization that spans 50 years and try to organize the information about the past exhibitions, events, and programs. And I'm also really excited to learn about the process of publications and try to provide suggestions on the content and general design of the catalog. So yeah, I think the fellowship is important because it's the first work experiences after my graduation. It makes me just step into the art field in the States. And it's also the first time that I work in a public sculpture park, learning its histories, the ideas of the artworks, and also the operation of the whole park. So really thanks Dana and Karen for being very supportive, and thanks ArtTable. Thanks Lucia for being very supportive to answer many of my questions and introducing Truth as my mentor. So yeah, really happy to see you all.
Thank you so, so much. Happy to help. So we have another 4 fellows ready to talk. Let's continue with Karina Ticker from ArtSpiders.
Hey y'all. My name is Karina. I have a little script written, so bear with me. My name's Karina. My pronouns are they, them, and I'm absolutely thrilled to be the fellow at Art Papers. My background is I'm a musician, I'm a curator, and I'm a writer / journalist, like depending on who you ask, it's a whole thing. But my degree is from Georgia Tech and is in literature, media, and communication. I actually just graduated this May, so I'm like still a baby. But it's really interesting because I came from an engineering school and really had to learn about my love for art and music off campus. Like I didn't really have much educational infrastructure that would help me kind of learn about art history or anything. So that led me to the incredibly rich DIY art and music scene here in Atlanta, which is where I got my start. So in terms of my project for Art Papers is like 3-pronged. So first, I've been helping co-curate our October exhibit that's going to be in conjunction with Atlanta Art Week, and it's called A Tremulous Force. And this exhibition really explores themes of touch, memory, and time, and will feature artists like Kelly Taylor Mitchell and William Downs. So I've been helping look for like a video artist in particular. So a couple of the fellows have actually helped me in that endeavor. So big thank you to you guys. And then I'm also curating an archival creating an archival research dossier about the DIY ethos, because it's really near and dear to my heart, and collective action in both politics and art. And then lastly, the biggest part of my project that I didn't know I was going to do going in, but I'm like super grateful that I got a chance to work on, has been creating an environmental justice timeline for our fall issue, Counter Ecologies, which is being co-edited by the team over at, okay, buckle up, the Emilio Ambas Institute for the Joint Study of the Built-in Natural Environment at MoMA, which is like an absolute mouthful. So, but this timeline explores 3 environmental justice movements throughout the world, including the protests in Warren County, North Carolina, which started off the environmental justice movement in America as a whole. And also the protests against the Umaoya Dam in Sri Lanka, with the main focus of the timeline being on the Stop Cop City movement in Atlanta. And I'm really grateful to have this opportunity to talk about an issue that's really near and dear to my heart. I've been to protests, my friends have been to protests, I've seen people get arrested, it's been a whole thing. And I'm really lucky to be able to help spread awareness about the injustices that are being carried out in my hometown. And so I wanted to say that this fellowship has been so incredibly valuable to me, because not only has it given me boots on the ground experience in magazine and arts journalism, which I'd never had before. I have a background in like radio journalism, but it's also given me an opportunity to learn about like editing, arts criticism, and what it's like working with an arts nonprofit. Because as I mentioned, I come, you know, Greta, you know. I come from a more STEM background, so getting an opportunity to like really work in the arts has been so just eye-opening, and I really love it. And I've always been a proud Atlantan, so getting to work with like a world-renowned arts magazine that's literally based in the South has also given me the opportunity to prove that the South really does have something to say. And I just truly, absolutely adore everyone I work with. So hi, Sarah. And above all, the like relationships and connections that I've made during this fellowship have been so rewarding. And I really hope to continue them even after the fellowship has ended. I'd love to keep working with art papers. So yeah, thank you so much to ArtTable for this opportunity. Thank you so much to Art Papers for hosting me. And yeah, Stop Cop City.
Thanks so much, Karina. So let's continue with Stephanie Tinsley, who is working at the Carolee Cinnamon Foundation, upstate New York.
Hi, everyone. My name is, as you said beautifully also, Lucia, my name is Stephanie Tinsley. I'm a writer and filmmaker from Chicago, Illinois, originally. And I'm really happy and so excited to be working as a fellow with the Carolee Schneemann Foundation. For those who aren't familiar with Carolee Schneemann's work, Carolee was one of the pioneering artists of the 20th and 21st century. And I've been a fan of hers ever since I was a teenage girl. So it's been an absolute honor to be able to work in her house in New Paltz, New York, or Springtown, as she liked to call it, and to work with her archives hands-on. So, oh, sorry, I apologize for that beeping if you can hear it in the background. To give you a bit of background on me, I went to Tisch School of the Arts at NYU, and I graduated with a BA in film and TV. I went to the film school there, and I had a minor in art history. And I've worked in a diverse array of different fields. I've worked as a screenwriter. I've worked with in editorial journalism. I've worked in different facets throughout the years, but I founded a arts nonprofit in 2020 called Black Sheep Collective. So this opportunity with the Carolee Schneemann Foundation really has been an experience that's been incredibly valuable to me, to be able to work with both the director and manager, Rachel Cherner and Rachel Helm, to see how an arts organization is run, especially with two really wonderful women who are really inspiring. And I think the ArtTable Fellowship has been really valuable to me, because the mission of ArtTable is to make arts positions and jobs accessible to women and femmes and non-binary people, and really ask the question of what does it mean to be a creative in a patriarchal system, and how do we make those positions available to women and femmes and non-binary people. And Carolee Schneemann really lived a life where she created space for herself in a male-dominated industry, especially at that time in the 50s, 60s, and throughout, and really carved out a space for herself that paved the way for many, many artists after her to have a successful career in the arts and not have to sacrifice their femininity or their sexuality or their creativity for anybody. So it's been a really valuable experience, and yeah, I'm really grateful to ArtTable and to the Schneemann Foundation for this opportunity.
We are very happy to have you also. So let's continue now with Janine Shim, who has been working at the Balboa Arts Contemporary Conservation Center, in San Diego.
Hello everyone. My name is Yaning. I'm originally from China. I'm an MFA candidate and teacher at University of Massachusetts Amherst. So besides of my studio practice, actually I was like interning at a local framing plus archival management studio for a year or so. So doing that internship, I got into like art conservation, and I've been like really interested in to learn more about that. So thanks for the ArtTable Fellowship that gave me the opportunity to work with BACC to advance my skills and learn a lot about what I can do for other artists in my community in like conservation perspective. So at BACC, I was assisting in curriculum development and audience research for a series of workshops intended to provide technical assistance and capacity building for local artists. So these workshops we design it to share knowledge with artists, like how to preserve their work and what artists can do in their studio. So we conduct a survey to collect the database of the local artists in San Diego, and we also visit some institutions like ICA San Diego and some local artist studios. So I learned a lot about what a conservation lab does and how it looked like as a conservator, work with artwork, artists, and institutions. So yeah, thank you so much for having me, and I had a great time during the summer to do the ArtTable Fellowship.
That's our goal, absolutely. So now I would like to say that Fiona Yu from Amand Foundation in Brooklyn, New York, wanted to be here. But let's continue with Sarah Zielinski, our last fellow participating in this session today, and then we will start with the Q&A. So Sarah is having the fellowship at Air Gallery, Brooklyn, New York. Hi, Sarah.
Hi, Lucia. Hi, everyone. It's great to be here with all of you and to hear more about what everyone is up to this summer. That's very exciting. I am an artist and an arts worker and a writer. And this summer, as an ArtTable Fellow, I'm working at AIR Gallery in Brooklyn, which is the oldest collectively run nonprofit gallery for women and non-binary artists in the country. And it's very exciting to be working at AIR because past jobs and research that I've done for them has sort of circled around AIR and AIR history, and now I have the chance to really be on site and diving into that history specifically. And the work that I'm doing there is centered on the gallery's archives and the gallery's history, doing a few different archival projects, one involving going to the library that houses the physical archives dating back to the gallery's founding in 1972, and working to increase public access to that information and those archives through the website, and also doing research for an upcoming book about the gallery's history, about early members and founding members of the gallery. And I, many years ago now, worked on another book as a research assistant about the feminist movement in art, centering around a similar time period. And later had the opportunity to interview artists for the Huffington Post for a couple years, and including Mary Beth Edelson, who is an early AIR member. And it's just really lovely to think back to the conversation with her and the research that I was doing a decade ago, as I'm newly looking at the AIR archives and history. And I want to mention too, it's been really lovely to connect with a mentor through ArtTable. I'm looking forward to sort of the development of that relationship as well. So thank you.
Sounds amazing. So happy to hear that, of course. Penelope, your turn.
Thank you so much, everyone. It was great to hear from you. I'd like to welcome everyone to do a short Q&A together, and we will move into our breakout rooms in about, we'll see how long our Q&A go on, but 5 to 10 minutes. So I'd like to invite anyone to put a question into the chat and or just wave at me and say hello, and we can hear from you directly. And fellows, you can ask questions too of each other or of your host organizations if that's interesting. Perhaps it would be nice to hear, do any of the host organizations have questions that they want to bring to the group? Okay, Sarah from LACE. Thank you, Sarah. How many fellows are also connecting with one-on-one mentorship from ArtTable? Well, Lucia, we know the answer to that question is that we do match all of the fellows with mentors.
We are selecting one-on-one according to the interest of the fellows. If the fellow has an educational career path or a curatorial, or is based in California, or wants to develop the career in New York, we are having all these aspects in mind in order to find the right ArtTable member who is going to support professionally the advancement of the career of the fellows. And we had such an incredible experience in the past and also this year. Thank you, Sarah. And I know everybody's super excited. So yeah, we are still trying to connect with some of them because, summer is summer and there are people more slowly responding, but yeah.
Thank you so much, Doug, for your comment, who says, congrats to a great group of fellows. I'm so impressed by all. Meg would be so proud of this class. That means so much, Doug. Thank you so much. Meg would be so proud of this class, and we are so grateful for her support in initiating this program. Have any of the fellows relocated for this experience? Does anyone want to share? I see Libby nodding. Does anyone want to share anything about what that experience has been like?
Yeah, I don't mind sharing. I was in Michigan right before and in Pittsburgh. So I just sort of, I'm very used to a nomadic lifestyle now that I've come back to the States, because I just do a lot of residency hopping really. So the first part of the year I was in Omaha for 3 months, and then I was in Tampa for 6 months doing an exhibition, and then Michigan, and then Pittsburgh. And then I was like, okay, now I'm going to go to Norfolk, Virginia. And, sometimes housing is, a question, right? But I got connected with some docents from the museum, and they were very grateful to work out an arrangement. So I'm actually doing an art trade with one of my docents. So, and it's been really good. I really like being able to get to know, other people from around in the town, and in the community. So I feel like, yeah, it's just kind of like a very neighborly type of vibe, and that's how my experience has been. So but I've enjoyed it so far.
I want to jump here to say that for the first year, ArtTable has been able to raise money in order to dedicate a special amount of money to support the housing stipend. So this has been something we wanted to do for fellows, and we are very happy we were able to do it for 5 of them. Yeah.
I could also speak to the relocation aspect of the fellowship. I originally, well, I'm from Chicago, Illinois, but as I mentioned, I went to NYU. And as some of us in here, we graduated in 2020 during the pandemic. So I, like Libby, have also kind of lived a nomadic lifestyle for the past 3 years. So after I graduated, I moved to Los Angeles, working as a screenwriter and an assistant to a director in the film industry, which we are now on strike. So that has also been paused. And then I moved back home to Chicago on the South Side for maybe like a year and a half. And then upon receiving this fellowship, I moved back in June to Brooklyn. And it feels kind of like coming back home, because this is, even though I lived here only for 4 years during college, this is kind of the place where I became a young adult. So it feels like a full circle moment.
Thank you so much. We have a couple more comments. It's Hannah Barco is saying congratulations to everyone. From Tefra, Cynthia. Thank you so much, Cynthia, thanking everyone. Does anyone have any other questions before we go to breakout room for the whole group? Not seeing anyone waving at me. All right, thank you so much. So now I see one. Darla has one. Darla, do you want to just unmute and ask? Balancing your fellowship work with other freelance work plus moving. Yes, that's a legit question.
I really just am checking in with everyone, because we're such dynamic people and we're really busy people, and we are all very impressive. But I honestly am experiencing a level of burnout that I hadn't anticipated, and I'm looking for ways to, just being selfish, right? Like looking for ways to share how we are also taking care of ourselves, because it's a lot going on.
I would love to speak on this. First of all, Darla, I am so impressed by you and inspired by you from our first Meet the Fellows call. When I saw you, I was like, wow, I'm so drawn to you. And then to hear that you teach at Parsons, which is just a beautiful institution. I'm just honored to be a cohort member with you. However, taking care of ourselves. Like I said, I'm a mom, and my brother, thankfully, is on break from Otis in Los Angeles, and he was my childcare to be able to get all the things done. But also, I think in our crazy schedule of balancing this project and our lives and so many other things, I've had to schedule in what I'm going to do for myself, because we as fellows know how to make it a priority to get our work done, to present, to do things on time and to the best of our ability, and really show out in the ways that we creatives can do. I'm sure all of us have lost sleep over our fellowship projects. I'm sure we all have. But that's what it's come down to, is making sure before I open the catalog to edit, I've scheduled doing something that I know will make it that much easier to put my best work forward. I'm here with you. Solidarity.
Thank you. That's such a valid skill in the workplace, I think, throughout our careers. We're constantly learning and relearning. Thank you.
Yeah. And Darla, I also want to share, I was listening to you speak, and yeah, all of what you're describing sounds amazing. And, it's a lot to take on. And, just reminding yourself, this isn't really like a hard, piece of advice, but just trying to remember that you literally can only do one thing at a time. And you don't have, all these extra hands. So just to be a little bit more gentle with yourself and just, yeah, remembering you're going to get it done. But, you can't stress over the things that haven't happened because they haven't happened. So you just have to take it as it comes, ride the waves, and just have that faith in yourself that it's gonna happen as it needs to, because you're already doing what you need to do in order to accomplish those goals. So I think, just remember, one step at a time. That's all you can do. So yeah, but amazing work, and I'm excited to see what you do. So
Thank you. Thank you so much. That's a useful conversation. I'd like to move to breakout rooms. We have 9 breakout rooms set up. Each has 2 fellows' names on it. I'm going to open the rooms and encourage you to make your way to the room where you would like to chat. If you have any trouble getting into a room, I can move you there from mission control here, and I will be in the lobby of the Zoom and available to help everyone. So the rooms are opening up now.
Thank you, Penelope. It has been an incredible journey. It has been the honor of my life to be leading this program. And I am so excited to have Susan Magaluz here. So yeah, for next year, you will be in the best hands with her. And thank you everybody. Thank you the mentors, to the host organizations, our committee, everybody, all the fellows and supervisors for sure, and all my incredible team at ArtTable. So thank you absolutely everybody. And yeah, if you want, Penelope, maybe we can get a screenshot, like a photo, like saying thank you and goodbye to everybody.
Yeah, sure. Thank you. Yeah, when we do these screenshots, it's so many people to get smiling at the same time. So actually, let me just take a moment, because I didn't have her on spotlight, to spotlight Susan, who Lucia just introduced. She is coming in to take the helm of this program, and we're just so lucky to have her. Thank you, Susan. Thanks for letting me just put you in the spotlight for a moment. So, all right, let me know when you're ready to smile. 3, 2, 1. Thank you. Got it. Appreciate you so much.
Thank you all. Have a very, very great rest of your day. Thank you for being here.
Thank you so much. Bye, everyone.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.